What's up, guys? Sanitary here. So if you haven't heard this story, I found it on ABC News and also on Good Morning America. And this girl named Rachel Taylor, it's a little bit blurry, but I'll put the link of the video/article in the description box if you want to see it. She's basically shown here at an Old Navy sporting a red, white, and blue United States American flag tank top in celebration of the 4th of July that just passed. And she got over like 200,000 likes. And the ABC News article that I'm looking down on my laptop, the title says, "Meet the plus-size Old Navy shopper who stood up to body shamers." Now, I may get a little bit of heat for this, for my opinion on this, but let me give you the scenario. So basically, she was at an Old Navy, standing in line, and there was another mom and a teenage daughter that was in close proximity. And apparently the young teenage daughter that was with the mom grabbed a oversized tank top, kind of like the one that that girl Rachel was wearing. She kind of gestured towards her mom and said, "Wow, this thing is big, you know, so-and-so X amount of people could probably fit in this." And the mom just kind of had a giggle, the daughter had a giggle, and they put it back. Now, based on that, this Rachel lady, who's obviously a little bit overweight, she took offense to it. She walked away, apparently went back to her car, and she started just crying for hours. And then because of that, to show her strength, she decided to buy this tank top. And let me give you a little bit quote of what she said. She said, "Old Navy, thank you for having clothes for all shapes and sizes. I'd like to tell you the story behind this tank top." She was shopping at Old Navy, like I was saying, standing in between a teenage girl and the mom. And then the girl picked up the plus-size tank top, showed it to her mom, said, "Look at me, so-and-so can fit this tank top." So she started crying. She eventually went back inside to finish the shopping. And she said that she ended up buying the tank top because it turns out she looked fierce in it. And she finishes it off with saying, "Be kind, think about others before you speak. And if someone hurts you, you have to move on." Now, like I said, I may take a little bit of heat for this a little bit. Now, I do agree that you should be aware of what you say, but in my opinion, in a way, I kind of feel like this is getting a little overblown. Now, just hear me out first. Now, the daughter and the mom, I could just envision it. They were just kind of, having a nice day on the weekend. And I could picture the little girl just grabbing something, picking it up and going, "Oh, look, mom, this thing is big." And then, obviously it looks big on a child or on a teenage girl. She might pick something up. I don't think that the daughter was deliberately trying to body shame. I think they were just having a joke amongst themselves, and that Rachel lady, the overweight lady, happened to be there. In this day and age, I just feel like people got to have a little bit more thicker skin. Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but all I know is that if she's bawling for hours inside of a car because of what she heard that wasn't even directed towards her, she's in for a rude awakening. She probably has a lot of bad experiences growing up. Maybe she was bullied, she's got some body image issues, but if she's allowing this to affect her that much, like I said, she's in for a rude awakening, and she may need to go see a therapist, see a psychologist, talk to a friend, a social worker, to basically sort out all these emotional issues that she has. And to label a random mom and daughter who are just trying to have a good time in a shopping center at Old Navy, to label them as body shamers. If I was to see that, this post, and let's say it was me and, my nephew or something, or my niece, and I was being accused of being the body shamer, although they didn't mention the names, I would be a little bit offended myself. Have we come to a point of society in which we have to be on pins and needles at all times? Now, like I said, I agree, you should be aware of what you say, but to call it body shaming and to make it sound like these people are just out to, really harp down on overweight people, she's the one that has the personal issues. She's the one that's being oversensitive. For example, I'm a pretty short guy, okay? I'm short. I'm only 5'5" and a half. So let's say a similar situation. There's a father and a son. They go into a Foot Locker, and he's a basketball player, and he's pretty tall, and I'm in line right behind him, okay? And the son, who's pretty tall, he's like 6 feet something, he grabs a pair of shorts, and it's kind of short, and he puts it up to his pants, and he kind of jokes around with his father and says, hey, look at this, I can fit these, right? and then the father goes and tells him, oh no, that's just way too short, quit messing around, only a short person would probably fit that. So based on that example, if I'm standing in line and I overhear that, am I supposed to go on Facebook and tell them that they're discriminating against short people? Absolutely not. I wouldn't care one way or another about that comment. It's just a comment, okay? Now some of you guys are disagreeing, might say, well, maybe you weren't teased and maybe you didn't go through what she did. That may be true, but that's not my problem. With the problems that she has, she can't be projecting those types of insecurities and making it all about other people. Now, I'm not saying she didn't go through a lot of bad stuff like I mentioned, but to say that it's just straight body shaming and that people need to watch their mouth and be careful, I do agree with that part, but at the same time, if it's not directed towards her, she needs to take a step back herself and be a little bit more objective and not be oversensitive and blame other people for her emotional problems. And to backtrack real briefly on my example of me being short and someone making a comment, I can make an argument if I want to be a dick, which I'm not gonna, but I can make a small argument that that would be considered even a little bit worse because I can't control my height, whereas with weight, for the most part, not all, okay, for the most part, it can be controlled. Now, there are certain medical conditions, you have a thyroid problem, PCOS, there's other problems, but for the majority, it can be controlled to a certain degree with diet and exercise. So that's my 2 cents for this video, and I know there's going to be some people that are going to disagree, agree or disagree. It's an open discussion. Leave the comments down below. That's it, guys. I'll see you guys in a couple days. Bye.